What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. I often get asked from you guys to outline the process I use to create and launch games. So yeah, I'm going to dedicate this video to that. So I'm going to outline the whole process, obviously from research until launch. I'm going to try keep it in a nutshell because obviously this video can only be so long. So I hope you guys find some value in it, and yeah, let's get cracking. So the very first step I do when I create a game is obviously research. Now you want to spend a few days to a week on this process, and how I do it, it typically looks like this. Basically, I will do research on top performing games in whatever niche I decide to go in. So if I'm, let's say, for example, creating a solitaire game, I will kind of download and play the top performing solitaire games, do some research, obviously look at the negative reviews, see where there's an opportunity to put my own twist on it. Another thing I also do is, one big mistake developers do is they kind of build a game that's already in their mind and then they try and market it to an audience and that sort of thing. So I actually do like the reverse approach. I will look at the audience and then build a game for that specific audience. I will also kind of do research on the niche and see what are the chances I could rank for the top 10 of that niche. So for example, I've done skee ball games and beer pong games. I went into that process knowing that there was a good chance for me to rank at least on the top 10 for those search results, and obviously get that traffic in. So, and ultimately, if you look at the App Store now, two of my games do rank in the top 10. So yeah, you want to take a reverse approach, see what the competition is like for that specific niche, and then obviously build the game for the audience. So yeah, spend a few days on this process. Don't try and cut it out, because the research ultimately is kind of what's gonna make or break the success of your game. So yeah, take this process seriously. And yeah, spend some time playing the games, learning the ins and outs, the little nuances that make these games perform well, and yeah, peel back the layers until you have a good idea what makes them tick. Now, once you've done your research and you kind of know what game you want to build, the next step is to build an MVP, minimal viable product. I've spoken about this in other videos. Now, building an MVP simply means you building like the bare bones of the product. You don't want to add layers of polish or progression. You just want kind of the raw game, the core game loop. That's the most important part, because you want proof of concept. You see, many of the top performing games out there have started off as an MVP. Obviously, it's a way for the developers to test if this is what the audience actually wants. So I always start with the bare bones, nothing fancy, no amazing artwork or visual effects or anything like that. That can all come later, like I said, once you have that proof of concept. This also mitigates the risk of spending too much time and money on a project that might not be successful or profitable. So yeah, you want to start off as cost effective as you can. So with the MVP, typically it takes me around 2 to 4 weeks to create the product. Like I said, it's very bare bones. Just make sure that it's bug free, and then the core game loop is very compelling, so players like to play it. So step 3, once you have finished MVP, you then want to do a soft launch. And what I typically do is, now this goes back to my previous videos, and I'm going to say it again, if you're not building an email list, you are really doing yourself a disservice, because it's free marketing. You're basically collecting all the target demographic players in one pool. So on an email list, these are your golden users basically. So what I do is I'll send out an email letting them know this is a new game, and then it'll take a week or two to gather some data just to see how it's performing. This is the kind of the step that I know whether or not to go on with a project, because it could either go one of two ways. The metrics could look really good and promising, and that's when I know okay, I've got something here, let me build on this, or it could just tank and the retention could be very low, all of those things. So yeah, the initial metrics are really important, and like I said, you're getting the data from the best possible source, your target demographic, so you typically know whether this game is scalable after you've kind of launched it to your email list and those players. So assuming the initial metrics look promising, obviously day 30 retention, that's going to take a while to get that data, but the initial metrics like games played per day, day 1 retention, installs to first see, those things, if they do look promising, then I will go back and reiterate. Obviously look at the reviews, see what people's reservations are. If they have certain gripes with things in the game, you can always tweak them. So this is an important step. Now you want to add the final touches, you want to polish it up, you want to add the nice visual effects, the good music, all those things that can help increase that retention further. And yeah, then you want to keep doing that. And then yeah, you'll have a much more finished product. Also, you can tweak the monetization processes in there, just pretty much lining everything up for when you do take the next step. And then the fifth and final step, obviously, if everything goes well, this is a step where you can kind of scale that game. So now you're going to be thinking in terms of UA, user acquisition. Now that you've got your monetization on point, you've got your game all polished up, you've got your marketing material, your screenshots that are converting well, and now you can start running small test UA campaigns just to see whether you can get this game profitable. So that is a step I'm still kind of learning myself. Obviously, it's a step that is fundamental in order to scale your game further. But yeah, without a good polished product, if the game's metrics aren't doing well, then yeah, you need to go repeat all the steps before until you get a game with good benchmark metrics. So that is my strategy in a nutshell. Obviously, there's a lot more finer details that go into it, but ultimately that is the outline I do. Let me know in the comments below which steps you struggle with when you are creating a game. Is it the actual development side of things? Is it the research? Is it the marketing? Let me know. I always reply to as many comments as I can, so I'd love to hear from you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did, please show some love, smash the like button. I will see you on the next one. Stay safe and peace out.